Hi, welcome to the video. So a little bit different today. It is, I think it's Friday the 17th of January. It's 4 o'clock and it's very light, which is fantastic. So I think um, the last sort of recorded video I did, which wasn't like pre-recorded from the autumn, was the turfing job. I have dried out since then, and I've been doing big hedges at a couple of clients' lawns for the last sort of 2 weeks. Um, Although it's taken a lot longer because it's been really frosty in the mornings, so I haven't had the opportunity to get on the lawns until kind of 11 o'clock ish, which has actually been good because it seems as though a lot of people are getting in early with their lawn care. So I've been able to fill that time with doing quotes and then also phoning up to price up quotes as well. So that's been quite good. This morning, Friday, I've actually spent. I meant to spend a couple of hours in the office, but I've ended up being in there till about 2 o'clock today. Um, Writing up some quotes, which has been good. Following up on some other quotes that I haven't heard back from. One was a more elderly client, I should say. That was quite an interesting one, and it really goes to say that you should talk to as many people as you can because you never know what will happen. When I was in a queue to pick up my son from nursery, I was just chatting to the woman who was beside me. She's like a nurse in sort of like a private care situation where she actually, rather than a private care home, she actually nurses in, I guess, wealthier people's houses. And she was saying a lot of her clients were struggling to find reliable people to maintain their vast lawns and things like that. So I said, well, I'm trying to move into this area now. So here's some cards. Please hand them out. Within a week later, I've already got one signed up for the year. So that's great, and that just comes about through, I don't want to say networking, but just talking to people. Just what do you do for a living? Stuff can come from it. So that's pretty cool. The other quote was, I felt that it was doomed from the start, to be honest. It was a guy messaged me via the website, and let me just turn that off. Does that make a difference? Um, and he said that he was unhappy with his current lawn care company, who are a national franchise that you may have heard of. We shall name no names. And I said, yeah, no worries. He then later emailed me and said, look, I want to be upfront with you. The said company are charging me £22 a month. I thought, okay. And he then said that is for 6 treatments, a scarifying, and an aeration. And then on top of that, as a separate price, there would be some overseeding. £22 a month, that's not much, is it really? Not for 6 treatments, a scarifying, and an aeration. So, but I hadn't seen the lawn. I had no idea how big it was. So it could have been a very small lawn. Who knows? So I've got there. I've measured the lawn. The lawn is 361 square meters. Okay, now you have a think about that. You think about your lawns and what you charge. So imagine that 61 square metered lawn, 6 treatments, a scarifying and aeration, and then divide that by 12. Does that come out at 22? If it does, you're doing something wrong. So I asked him, what was the actual issue with the company and why he wasn't happy. And he said, well, the problem is I'm paying for all of this monthly. But last year they didn't scarify or aerate. And I thought, well, it doesn't sound to me like they're charging you for it because it's so cheap. There must be some miscommunication. I can't even say it, but whatever it is, there's definitely that going on. Anyway, inevitably I quoted the job, and as I expected, I was well over double what he was paying. So yeah, I didn't hear anything back. But it's always good to chase these things up because you never know. I purposely gave him a good week to have a think about it, digest it, because I knew it was going to be a way more than what he was thinking. But my issue is that he thinks he's getting a service that actually he probably isn't, because I just can't see how they could justify it at that price. So I emailed him this morning, and he said sorry, he apologised for not getting back to me, and then he said, obviously your quote's double what I have been paying, so I won't be going with you. Thanks for coming out, whatever, blah blah blah. So I sent him just a nice little email back, just saying, look, no worries. If you do find that said company is still not providing you with the service that you require, you know where I am. So, please feel free to get back in contact. I'll be happy to come out and service your lawn. Obviously at the prices I quoted, not the silly prices that he's been quoted from said company. So I've left that with him. So we shall see. But I just can't see how anyone could do that and make it worthwhile at that price. So that was this morning, as well as just organising a big turfing job starting on Monday. I say big turfing job, it's not that big. I've done a lot bigger, but it's a very important job because I am in the middle of relocating to a new area, which I'm happy to talk about in more depth on a separate video. And I've spoken about it a little bit on Sam, the J Rock podcast. So it's about 5 minutes from my house. It's a nice little road, some nice houses, nice properties in there. Some older properties are sort of being knocked down and rebuilt into the sort of like that footballer style house, if you like. So this is something that I'm going to really target. So I've cleaned the van. I've got all this marketing stuff that I've had from day one that I've never really had to use, but because I'm trying now to get into this area, and this has been a 5-year plan, and I'm starting year 4 now, and I'm now getting a bit itchy feet, and I just want to get it done. I just want to get rid of the commute now. So what I've got is this flyer here. Obviously it's purple. These 4 photos are on my website. This is a flyer that I give to all my clients once I've done work, and this is the aftercare treatment. On the back of that is exactly the same photos, so branding's all the same, and then in there is aftercare, after turfing care, watering new turf, when to water, first mow on new turf, after seeding care, when to water new turf, when to water new seed, when to water, first mow on new seeded areas, first mow on overseeded areas. So there's a little bit of reading there just to help them to make sure that the job survives. But it's autumn time, because it's winter time, there's really going to be no issues if they don't water their lawn. And like in the video, my last turfing video, you saw that got plenty of water. So this flyer is going to go through to all the neighbours' properties. It basically just says hello, and then I put in the date, maybe the name of the house, whatever I feel it's necessary to do. We're working in your neighbour's property right now. If you have any lawn care needs, from lawn mowing, fertilising, weed and moss control, turfing to autumn leaf cleanups, come over, say hi. If we're gone by the time you read this, then don't hesitate to call me on, and there's the phone number and the website quite clearly stated. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So I'm going to get them out. I've also got some big advertising boards. I've got a skip on this job because there's nowhere to put the waste, so I'll have the skip. So basically between the flyers, the van, the advertising boards, maybe myself, I can't brand it any more than that, I don't think. So hopefully there'll be a knock-on effect and I'll get some more work out of it in the area that I desire. So that'll be great. So this is really just a catch-up video to kind of let you know how it's all going. And then from that turfing job, once that's done, I'm going to do a 4 or 5 part video series on this job, from initially how to quote it, to how to do the aeration, sorry, how to do lifting the turf, how to rotivate, level the soil, which is going to be a really, really good one actually, because I've got some friends bringing a very, very new and special tool to this job, which I can't say any more about at the moment, but it's going to be quite interesting, because I've not seen it work. I've seen like a 3-second video clip of it. So they're going to be coming down and also getting footage, and then obviously I will then do a turfing video, and then probably a follow-up video as to what I did next, with regards to invoicing and the follow-on care. So yeah, so lots of videos coming out, and then I think by the time that's all done, we will be into the spring lawn care season. I mean, once this turfing job's done, I'll be straight on to the iron treatments, getting the first cuts in of the year, just getting those final tidy ups now all the leaves are down, things like that. I always try and leave the first mow until sort of February time, really, because all the snowdrops are coming up now, and what I'd hate to do is come in a little bit early and just hammer them down with a mower, because they're not quite developed enough. So that's always quite good to just let the sort of the garden develop a little bit before you go out with the mower. I won't be using the new mowers for the first couple of cuts. I may as well just use the old ones, because they're still going to be quite twiggy and quite leafy. So yeah, loads coming on. So it's now pretty flat out now till Christmas. So it's not quiet for long. But I have got another turfing job to do, which is going to be a smaller one. It's actually a flower bed that's going to be turfed, so there's no need to remove the turf or anything like that. So yeah, lots going on. Hopefully you will enjoy the content this year. If there's anything in particular that you want to me to cover, let me know. Also, I put a post out on social media today, in fact, on Instagram, regarding CRMs. I use Invoice2Go, have done for the last 8 years. Also use changed accountants a couple of months ago, and they use QuickBooks, so I'm now on QuickBooks too. So I don't know whether to just transfer all over to QuickBooks and just use them, or use QuickBooks and Invoice2Go, because you can combine them, or go for something like Jobber. I signed up for the 2-week trial, and then some bloke from Canada rang me last night, and we were on the phone on a Zoom chat going through everything, and I'm very impressed by Jobber. It is very expensive compared to the £20 a month I think Invoice2Go is, but obviously it does that much more. I just don't know whether it's right for me right now as a sole trader, as opposed to someone who had, a number of permanent members of staff. So let me know in the comments below what CRM you use, and if you did use Jobber, do you still use it, or did you move on to something else, and what was the reason for it? Let me know in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed this one. A bit of a random ramble, but variety's the spice of life, right? Okay, cool. See you in the next one.